Hello friends, my name is Tevins, and boy do I have a surprise for you. And by you, I mean me. And by surprise, I mean it's not a surprise at all, I know exactly what's in this box. So I'm going to go ahead and open this with my screwdriver keychain thing. It's crude, but it works. And here we have a lot of bubble wrap and packing stuff. What's this thing? Did I order this? This is an MSI 970 Gaming Motherboard. And that's definitely not what this video was supposed to be about. Well, that was unexpected. Now what I really wanted to show you was one of these. And then I suppose that makes this video more or less an unboxing. This is Zotac's GeForce GTX 980 Ti Amp Extreme Edition, which I believe is one of the fastest cards you can actually get on the market right now for consumers. And I bought this off of Newegg a few days ago for the super low price of 1 kidney. Saving that second kidney for SLI. So anyway, this card is ridiculously fast. I believe among all GTX 980s, this one is supposed to be the fastest. It has a base clock of 1253 MHz, a memory clock of 1805 MHz, and then a boost clock of 1355 MHz before overclocking. And by that I mean after factory overclock, but before your own overclock, if that makes sense. It's got 6 GB of video RAM if you need that much. If you don't, it's got it anyway. It's got 384-bit GDDR5 memory and 2,816 CUDA cores, which I imagine will be treating me very, very well. For the price of 1 kidney, it better be treating me well for a while. If anything, I'm actually kind of disappointed that it can't make me sandwiches or do my laundry. So the box is open. What we have here is the manual that nobody ever reads. Here is the driver installation disk, which is fantastic if you don't have internet, but you do, so this is pretty much useless. You should be updating your drivers through the internet anyway, because that's where all the latest drivers are kept. In the box we have connectors that go from 2 6-pins to 1 8-pin, which is pretty cool. And there's 2 of those. If I didn't mention that, I can't seem to remember. So if you have a power supply that's only got 6-pin outs, you can take 2 of those and then turn it into an 8-pin, which is what the card likes to munch on. And here we have, this is funny, this is a DVI to VGA adapter. And why? Like, I understand legacy support and everything, but monitors don't even come with this port anymore. And now moving on to the main show, we have this thing is heavy. Now this card is freaking obese. The anti-static bag that this comes in is bubble wrapped too, so that's pretty cool. This thing has so much weight and girth to it. This is 12 inches of big black card. Okay, so this is definitely like a 2.5 slot card. So basically, if you put this in your motherboard, it's going to take up 3 slots. I'm seeing a dual link DVI, HDMI, and 3 DisplayPort outs. This is a fairly thick card. Now this is going to be an experience for me because I'm coming from a GTX 760, and that card is fairly dated. Like, it's not ancient, but it's not I wouldn't consider it to be high end anymore. I can't get over how huge this card is. Yes, size does matter. And now there's these little plastic film things on here to protect from scratching, I guess. I suppose now is a good time as any to take these off. Okay, so I'm a fan of this heatsink because it's pretty cool. Ha. Okay. So these okay, for one thing, this heatsink is huge. It's mostly aluminum fins with copper pipe. The fans have these little notches in the blades, and that's to help reduce dead spots in the center of the fan, which is better for distributing the heat through the heatsink more easily. The other side of the card features a sexy ass backplate. It says push the limit on it, and it feels pretty freaking sturdy, which probably contributes to, you know, the weight of the card. The SLI bridge goes here. I will be sacrificing my other kidney for this later. What's that? I need my other kidney? Oh. Well, what's living if I can't enjoy 4K at the best it can be anyway? So I think now is a good time for some light benchmarking and comparison tests. And by that I mean I'm only running Firestrike because I kind of want to just go ahead and install this card into my computer as soon as I can. If you guys are upgrading from a GTX 760 or something along those lines, you may find this interesting because you'll be seeing exactly how much performance you'll be gaining by upgrading to a card like this. And everybody likes seeing progress, so let's do it. These are my Firestrike results for the GTX 760. It's nothing too impressive, but, you know, it still works. In terms of video game performance, yes, it can run Minecraft. Also, I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 on here, and it seems to do fairly well with the mixed combination of settings from anywhere between normal and very high. When I tried to turn everything up to max just for kicks and giggles, I was getting hysterically pathetic results. And I mean everything, even the unnecessary stuff that no one would ever turn on, I turned on. And yeah, it wouldn't really run. But you know, it's kind of to be expected. Now here are the Firestrikes for the GTX 980 Ti Amp Extreme Edition, and this is without any overclocking on my end, just the factory overclock that it comes with. And the performance has increased by nearly 2.8 times what I had with the GTX 760. For consistency's sake, yes, this can also run Minecraft. And when I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5, I did in fact turn everything as high as I possibly could, and it ran fairly well. Though some portions the FPS did drop below what I wanted it at, so I did reduce some settings that I know I wouldn't use. But for the most part, with everything at either very high or ultra, the FPS only dropped to the 30s and 40s when I was driving through heavily wooded areas with a lot of dense foliage. During normal gameplay, I found myself to be sitting very comfortably above an average of 60 FPS for most of the time. The only exceptions being when I was driving very quickly through a lot of stuff, and when I was intentionally cheating for ridiculous explosions. So unless I'm intentionally doing things to stress my card out, the gameplay is more or less smooth as a baby's butt. Both Firestrike benchmarks were run at 1080p, and both were done on the same computer, so basically same everything except for the obvious graphics card switch. So this result should be fairly consistent for anyone switching from a 760 or anything similar to a 980 Ti. So, concluding thoughts. Do I recommend this card? Well, if you have the money for it, you bet your cute butt I do. Was it worth the money? Well, that really depends on you. I feel like it was worth it, but if you don't really need the extra performance, you could go for something cheaper. You know, you do you. So if you like this video, why not subscribe to me, because this stuff is fun and I might do this again. If you didn't like this video, well, don't subscribe to me. If you feel like I could have added something else, leave me a comment and let me know what you would have liked to see instead. And I guess that's all for that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you eventually.